gotten some emails about what would be a good workout to do Wing Chun wise when you're by yourself and you don't have a partner around. Well, let me preface this by saying that working out with Wing Chun wise and working out exercise wise are apples and oranges, two totally different things, and they should never try to be intermixed. I personally would never try to do something like have 5-pound weights in my hands or any type of weights in my hands and try to do a bunch of centerline punches with those weights in your hands. You've got to remember, what you're learning to do with Wing Chun is develop the skill. So what the heck is the skill? The skill is body control. And to learn that body control means not to balance yourself out to any other weight or object that you have in your hands. So if I'm lifting weights, I am now trying to control the weight. I am now no longer controlling myself. And the skill that you want to develop for Wing Chun is the body control of yourself. So it's good to work out, it's good to exercise, but don't think that exercising combined with Wing Chun motion and trying to do Wing Chun control is going to be good for you, because that's going to halt your progress and your skill development more so than you would think it would. So that being said, the first thing you want to do, if I'm going to be just doing a basic workout by myself, and this can be done anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So start with the basics. Ichikima. Again, when I'm hearing Ichikima, I'm trying to discover what is my center of gravity. And then I'm putting myself in a position where I can lower my center of gravity and still have a balance of mobility and stability. So just going through the basics, opening up into Ichikima. Now while I'm here, I want to ask myself, do I feel relaxed? Do I feel myself in the center of my foot? I don't want to be back on my heels, and I don't want to be forward onto my toes. So I can just sit here for a minute or two and just try to relax. When you're relaxing your mind, then you can actually listen to your body more. So you just need to do it just for 60 to 90 seconds. It's up to you. Again, it just depends on how much time you have. The other thing that's important to understand with Wing Chun, in my opinion, is quality versus quantity. Meaning that I can just take 5 to 10 minutes if I can be really able to focus, learn to listen to my body, learn to try to focus on the mechanics of what I'm doing. That's much better time spent than just sitting here for 20, 30 minutes and just kind of spacing out and not doing anything. Now when I'm here, I'm trying to figure out where my center of gravity is, trying to listen to all the tension in my body and try to balance all that out. So it's not too little and I'm not too tight with it either. Everything is trying to be a balanced, controllable, natural amount of tension in my body. And then position-wise too. I want to find where the balance of position is. So I'm not leaning one way or the other. I'm not leaning backwards or forward with that as well. So I want to feel myself centered, stable, controlled. So the next thing I can do is I'm just going to work on some basic centerline punches. And again, it's quality versus quantity. So I'm just going to do 100 punches. But each time I'm going to do any of these punches, I'm going to focus on trying to keep my hands within this triangle the whole time. So that's always middle knuckle over middle knuckle. And so that my shoulders are always square. And so I'm trying to understand this elbow forearm line to the target each and every time. And so my hands are working together, together, together. So I'm going to do 100 punches now. And the thing you've got to understand with punches is trying to develop clean, controllable, sharp mechanics. And to do that, you have to do it at a rate at which you can control your own motion. Meaning that if I'm trying to go so fast, my mechanics are all over the place, and I'm not learning to smoothly push towards a target, again, it's a waste of time in my opinion. And time, as you get a little bit older, you'll learn is arguably your most precious commodity you personally have. So you want to try to be efficient, meaning that you don't want to waste time with your workouts. So again, it's better to try to focus on 100 punches, with each punch smoothly and controlled, going towards the target as you can. So let's do 100 punches. 100 punches. Doesn't take too long, just 60 to 90 seconds probably. So, but each time you want to do those punches, you want to learn, am I focused towards the target each time? I don't want my hands going out around that target. Here's my middle knuckle covering my center line the whole time with both hands. Am I maintaining focus towards the target as this hand is dropping? I don't want to pull this hand back, and this is going to cause my shoulders to rise. From here, my elbow is dropping while maintaining focus towards the target each and every time, developing this triangle. So the next thing that I'm going to do is just work on some shifting. Now, there's what I call half shifting and full shifting. So half shifting is just turning 45 degrees each way. Now, when I'm doing that, I want to make sure, again, I'm controlling my center of gravity. I don't want to be leaning one way or the other, and I don't want to be leaning backwards or forwards. I want to make sure my back is nice and straight, relaxed. I don't need to be military tight, but it does need to be straight. And I want to make sure the tension in my legs are equal. I don't want to have like 70% tension here and 30% tension here. Because if I do that and I go to push, and I'm going to be leaning on one leg, I don't want to do that. So let's just work on 50, what I call half shift. So I'm going to be going 45 degrees. Now remember, when you shift, you always want to try to have an idea of a target in head. That target in your head will help you find the correct balance tension. Again, think about if somebody says, hey, heads up, I'm going to throw you this ball. What are you going to do? I'm going to aim towards that target where I feel the information is coming in. If somebody says, hey, heads up, I'm going to throw you the ball. Would I lean back like this? No, I wouldn't. What are you going to do? So let's just do 50, what I call half shift. So we'll start with going to my right first. But you can do 50 of those. And remember, the main thing is to control your center of gravity when you do that. Then the next thing you can do after that is you can work on your full shifts. I mean, I'm going to be going a full 180 degrees each time I do it. So with my hands back here, keeping my shoulders square, again, I want to have that idea of a target. Now to me, the biggest mistake people make when they're doing this exercise is when they have their knees bent, and then as they shift, they bring their knees up. You bring your knees up, that's going to throw your weight towards your heels. My weight's on my heels, I'm going to be falling back when I shift. And my feet are falling back when I shift, that means I'm going to actually be drifting backwards as I shift. And that means I'm not in control of my center of gravity. So I'll just do a couple, but ultimately you can just do 20 each way. Again, the idea of working on the control of your motion, control of your center of gravity is what's key here. So I'll shift to my left first. So I'm going to push off with my right leg, balance tension, equal tension between my legs, and know the target. Now, I know my target's going to be behind me. I'm going to push off with my left leg and push. And I'll push a couple more times. And push. And go back to center. So you can do that 20 times. Again, remember, control the center of gravity is what's key. Keeping the knees bent, hips naturally turn, back straight. Feel your weight in the center of your foot. And the last thing that you can do as far as solo training for a workout is I'm just going to do 50 shifting and punching. Now, as you see here, the body control basics is just learning your stance, learning how to move the stance. Now, we're also getting to basic hand development, which is getting your hands moving, developing that coordination, so I can control the coordinated motion. Now, this next motion, the shift and punch, is going to bring all of those things together, because now I have to use my whole body structure, legs, body, arms, as one single coordinated movement, that body control to make all that happen. So I'll just do a few, again, because of the squeakiness. So I'm going to start from here. My left hand forward, I'm going to use my rear hand to punch first. I'm going to shift just 45 degrees to my left. My right hand's going to punch first. And I want to try to make this all happen at the same time. So if I do it incorrectly and I'm here, and I shift and I punch off that means my arms and my body, legs are not working together. So when I'm here, it should be like I'm pushing the motion forward, and my body's always behind it the whole time. So when I go to shift and punch, and I'm here, body's always behind it. Now, it's shift and punch, right? Not punch and shift. So my body pushes the arm forward. My body pushes the arm forward. Again, where's my target? My target's got to be right where my triangle is. In Wing Chun, the way we do it here, everything we do with our arm motion is making a triangle with my motion. So when I shift and punch, yeah, see, my hand's on the line here, covering my center line. This hand right here, other side of the triangle, pointed toward the target. The internal target is my triangle. My hands come together where my middle fingers meet. That's where my target is, right here. Everything's going towards the target. Target, target. That way, I can learn to have my body best supporting my arms. Again, always think about how you're going to push a car. Would you push a car out here, or are you going to push a car this way? Well, you answer that question for yourself. So this is the first in a new series of some basic workouts that you can do when you don't have your partner around to chi-sao with, or you don't have a class and you can't ask your sifu for help with that. So, all right, good luck.